it's Jovi. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about how we can succeed in this next semester. We're going to look at the things we did wrong, what we can do better, how to get more motivation, how to be less unorganized, and different things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share with you my 5 top tips and what I did to help my semester go by really smoothly. I'd never taken online classes before last semester, and I really enjoyed my experience. I actually had never taken online classes until Corona, so I learned how to adapt really fast, and I actually ended up really loving all of my online classes. So my first tip, and you probably heard this a million times, is to create a study space. Create your study space. It may not look the same for everybody else, but a couple things to keep in mind is to make sure it's clean. Like, you don't want leftover Rice Krispie wrappers everywhere, drinks from 3 nights ago. Make sure it's clean, it's open, has good lighting, whether that's a lamp or just like an open natural light from the window. And one of my big things about my workspace is that I don't put anything in it that I don't need. So I only have my books, my laptops, and like my pens and pencils if I need that as well. I won't put anything else in the workspace that I don't need, no distractions or anything like that. And I try to keep my phone away from my workspace, especially during the time I'm actually gonna work. My next tip is a big tip. It's kind of my brand, is like productivity, but organization is so important. So my next tip is to create a schedule. I think it's so important to have a schedule, whether it's a to-do list you write down every other day or a Google Calendar or anything like that. I already have a video up about how I like stay organized during school, so you can check that out too. But my tip would be definitely to create a schedule. I kind of have a Google Calendar where I have all the major things of that day. So whether I have basketball practice, I have a class at a certain time, or if I have a meeting with one of my organizations, I'll have that, and it's all color coded. And then I'll also have a daily to-do list, which I make usually the night before or early that morning, of all the tasks I need to get done today or things that I just kind of need to like keep in mind. I also do like my daily affirmations on that as well, and just some like goals that I want to keep in mind for that day. But create a schedule, whatever that looks like, whether that's a written planner, a different type of planner that's online, or an app that you download. Definitely recommend going in and getting your schedule from your school and then implementing that in some way, whether that be in written form or some way that is digitalized. Along with scheduling, make sure you plan ahead. I think it's so important to plan ahead, whether that be a test, a quiz, or an essay. Kind of just have that in a range. I always put a little alert on my Google Calendar. If I have like a test that Friday, I'll put something on like that Wednesday. I'm like, okay, have you studied for the test? Just a gentle reminder to make sure that assignment is coming up and I'm staying on top of my tasks. The next tip I have is so important, and I definitely neglected this towards the end of last semester, and that is to take breaks. Not a complete break from school, but something that just helps you not focus on work or school at that moment. So I definitely recommend kind of just relaxing. I kind of think of doing school kind of like my workout regimen. So one day I'll go in super hard, long, sweaty workout, and then the next day I'll have a lot lighter session, and the next day might be kind of moderate, and then the next day is a really hard session, and the next day is moderate. So I kind of think of school in that way as well, where one day I'll complete 2 really big assignments, and that takes a lot out of you, like mentally and physically. That can take a lot out of you. If I like just finish the paper and then the next day I just need to take a break, just rest. Doesn't mean don't complete any task the next day. It just means like, okay, you did a lot, you used a lot of brain power that day. The next day you might just have to go to class and just relax for the rest of the day, or just take breaks when you study. I really recommend taking like a 30-minute break, or just taking breaks when you study. I really recommend like the 30 to 10 or the 30 to 5 or an hour to 5, which just means you study for 30 minutes and then you take a rest time for 5 minutes and do whatever you need to do within those 5 minutes. Okay, so my 4th tip is to plan other things other than school. be involved in something else other than school, have a hobby, have a certain passion that you want to take up. Like, other than school, I do YouTube, I have a job, and I'm involved in different organizations around campus. So it's so important to plan other things other than just your schoolwork. It's so nice for me to have an outlet. One of my biggest outlets right now is definitely working out. So I always plan a time to work out and kind of create a routine around that. So I always wake up in the morning, and I love working out in the morning, just getting it done and over with, and it just makes me feel a lot more refreshed for the day. Your hobby may look a little different than that. It could be a part of your break where you go get coffee and hang out socially distanced with friends, or just something that will keep your mind off of school. I think it's super important to have balance, and that's something that a lot of us lost in 2020. Just everything coming down at once, and then online school, and just turning an assignment after assignment after assignment. I think it's really important to focus on something other than school, or you'll literally go insane. So whether that's working out or doing yoga or reading a book, if for leisure, if that's something you're into, definitely recommend that. I'm actually reading one book right now, and it's just a lot about mentality and kind of just pushing through adversity, which is actually helping me a lot with online school and other things in my life. So reading or working out may be one of your passions. It may not be, but definitely try to add one into your routine. My last tip, something we really need to focus on, and it's giving ourselves grace. I think it's so important to give yourself grace during this time. At the end of the day, your mental health is so much more important than anything else. I just started doing daily affirmations, and that has helped me a lot. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy or too wild, but I've always just kept in mind during these affirmations just to be like, you know what, today I am going to complete this one task. Today I am going to drink all the water that I need. Today I am going to take time to get off of social media and just relax, read a book. Today might be hard, but I can't think about it going forward too much. I can't plan out every single step of the day. I kind of just got to take it step by step, and that's something that's really, really helpful. Also, meditation, taking a break, drinking some coffee, making some tea. Give yourself grace. Plan in times for self-care, whether that be at night, in the morning, whenever you need it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know this may be a little bit different than some of the other videos on YouTube talking about going back to the next semester, but I just wanted to add some tips that I have. I love doing these videos. Like I said, I have another video on like study tips, so if that's something you need, definitely check that out. If you have any tips and you want to share with other people below, definitely drop those below. And again, as always, if you have a YouTube channel that you want me to check out, drop down the username and I'll definitely check you out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give me a like to show me some love. Comment down below so we can chat, and subscribe so you can keep up with me. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa.